Coming up on Mountain News this morning, there was peril in Perry County Saturday as police were involved in a standoff. And today, Kentucky businesses can start applying for medical marijuana licenses for 2025.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:30 on July 1st. Now let's go ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
And this 1st of July, Olivia, feeling fantastic with a good break from the heat and humidity. We're sitting at 59 outside our door here at WYMT, and it looks spectacular, especially with the visibility. But the update now out of Harlan. It's down to 4 miles your way, so watch out. A few banks of fog to deal with as you make your way south of Hazard. Where it's 65 in Harlan, is 56 at Pikeville, and 57 good morning to you over at Irvin. All right, here is the dew point in terms of how much moisture is in the atmosphere. And guess what? It has been a nice drop here in the last 12 to 18 hours, and we'll keep this fantastic feel to the air going all day long. All right, just a scattering of clouds across eastern and southern Kentucky on this 1st of July. And for your Monday, if you happen to have to go into work and don't have the advantage of taking the days into the holiday off, enjoy it. A lot of sunshine after any fog burns off this morning. A forecast high in Hazard up to 77. More about the first alert 7-day forecasts and the heat and humidity coming back in a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. This morning, we bring you some sad news out of Menifee County. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team responded to a call about an unresponsive camper in the Menifee County portion of the Red River Gorge. Officials found the camper's body off Highway 751 and Suspension Bridge near the parking area. The victim was identified as a man, but his name has not yet been released. He was pronounced dead by the Menifee County coroner. Saturday, 16-year-old Jared Suarez was killed in a car crash along US 27 in Nicholasville. And yesterday, West Jessamine High School opened its doors to help his friends and classmates through the grieving process. West Jessamine's head football coach Scott Marsh says Suarez was going into his 3rd year as a starter, adding that numerous people on the team and young kids in the community looked up to him.
So within our team, I think the best thing that we can do moving forward is honor his legacy, and let's all of us try our best to embody some of those personality traits that Jared had that are so wonderful and so rare in people.
Marsh adds that he plans to encourage the team to embrace the grieving process, whatever that may look like. New perspective from a story we first brought you on Saturday night. A standoff in Perry County, which left community members talking about how the situation began. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares how one neighbor's reaction to the hours-long barricade situation.
Harry Cullum, who did not want to be on camera, says he hasn't heard of a lot happening in the Airport Gardens community of Perry County.
It's pretty laid back, it's quiet, you never have any problems.
That was until Saturday evening when a man approached his wife while she was at home.
She said that a man come to the house and knocked on the door and wanted to stay here and hide because somebody was chasing him with guns. And she said, I don't think I can do that with my husband gone.
Police were called about a domestic abuse at the building. Cullum says the suspect reportedly threatened a woman and her children.
Next thing she knows, when he ran out, the police come and asked her if she was by herself and was she okay and everything else, and she said yes, and they said, you've got to get out of here.
For the next several hours, the man would engage in a standoff with police.
And I couldn't get home because they had the roads blocked off. But when I finally talked to my wife, she explained what happened, and the lady that was being threatened, she was down there with her children.
Cullum says he feels for the victim and her family.
But she's a good mother, and her children are dressed nice, and I've never had a bad thing to say about that young lady.
And after several hours, the suspect turned himself in and was taken into custody.
It was ended peacefully. It could have gone the other way.
In Perry County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
The Perry County Sheriff's Office says the suspect was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail on several warrants, wanton endangerment and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Yesterday in Richmond, first responders were called to Jeremiah Drive after reports of shots being fired. When police got to the scene, they found Nancy Irwin in a vehicle on the property with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. They also found the house on fire and called fire agencies for assistance. One man was still inside the home and was later found dead.
They immediately contained the residence, tried to make entry because they saw smoke coming out of it, started hollering for the subject to come out, in which he responded and said he couldn't. For what reason, I don't know.
Officials are waiting to release the name of the man inside the home until his family is notified. Updates on the investigation and the condition of Irwin will be announced in the coming days. A Laurel County man was indicted on attempted murder charges in federal court. According to the Herald Leader, 71-year-old Byron Kemp Howard was charged after an incident in May. They say that state police were trying to arrest Howard when he fled and reportedly shot at officers. Howard was also charged with illegally possessing a firearm. 8 Kentucky healthcare professionals are charged in a nationwide fraud case. According to the Department of Justice, 6 people were charged in the Western District of Kentucky. 2 were charged in the Eastern District. The indictments claim cases of healthcare fraud, identity theft, and illegally distributing controlled substances. Prosecutors reported that in one of the cases, 2 pharmacists fraudulently obtained more than $1 million from healthcare benefit programs. Almost 200 people were charged across the country in connection to the investigation. The Kentucky State Police are asking for your help identifying a theft suspect. Take a look at your screen. Troopers say this man reportedly stole items from the Valero Food Mart on Kentucky 461 in Rockcastle County. The incident happened around 4:15 on Sunday evening. If you have any information, you are asked to call KSP Post 11 at 606-878-6622. One person was injured in a 2-vehicle crash in Pulaski County Saturday morning. Officials with the Somerset Fire Department say it happened at traffic light 23 in Somerset. Multiple crews responded to the scene. One person was taken to the hospital for their injuries. The family of Bishop Willow Lamb announced he died on June 22nd. Lamb was born in the McRoberts community, where the community dedicated a bench in his honor a few years ago. Lamb was also the recipient of the 2022 Eastern Kentucky Leadership Carolyn Sunday Award. His arrangements will be hosted at the Church of God Militant Pillar and Ground of Truth at noon on July 6th in Akron, Ohio. Bishop Willie Lamb was 100 years old. Kentucky will take a major step today toward rolling out medical marijuana. For the first time, businesses will be able to apply for licenses to grow and sell cannabis legally. Governor Beshear's team is overseeing the process. Leaders say the goal is to make it fair, transparent, and customer service oriented. There are a limited number of licenses for growers, processors, safety compliance facilities, and dispensaries. Statewide, 48 dispensary licenses will be available. And in Jefferson County Public Schools is set to allow students who qualify for medical cannabis to take it at school. According to the new policy, medical cannabis will be administered by school nurses and nurse practitioners in pill or gummy form. Vaping the product will not be allowed on campus, and it will be given out of sight of other students. That new policy goes into effect once medical marijuana becomes available in January of 2025. Healthcare professionals are working to encourage folks to get screened for lung cancer. ARH hosted a screening for folks who might be at risk. Being at risk includes being more than 50 years old and the amount of time you have smoked cigarettes. Adrian Pratt with Hazard ARH says getting screened is simple.
These are just basic lung screenings. They're super simple. They are basically kind of like what you would do with like mammograms, yearly routine blood work. It's kind of part of a yearly routine maintenance type thing that they have started doing within the last probably 5 to 8 years.
Pratt says they hope to help more people catch lung cancer as early as possible for a better chance at seeking treatment. Roll Up, an organization whose goal is to bring career-connecting education to the youth of Eastern Kentucky, has hosted several STEM and cyber arcade camps throughout the summer. By partnering with Learning Undefeated, Roll Up now has access to a state-of-the-art mobile STEM lab and are offering 5th through 8th graders an opportunity to learn skills they can carry into their professional lives. With technology growing every day, camps like these are vital to the development of children in the area.
And we're wanting to provide these unique experiences so that students can be engaged in what is going on in literally the high-tech area of computer science and STEM, and bringing the best type of curriculum.
At the end of the week-long camps, the students will have a demo day where they showcase the work they have done during their week at camp. And thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. If you're heading out of town this holiday week, get ready for some company. Millions of Americans are set to travel, breaking records on the roads and in the skies.